So we are crossing the bridge from Grand Rapids, Ohio to the ghost town of Providence, Ohio. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I'm in the ghost town of Providence, Ohio, and it looks like I've got the entire place to myself. It's about, I'd say I'm going on 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. There's just enough daylight to make it so I'm not breaking any laws, but also it's just cool enough and just dark enough to where nobody's out here, which is awesome. So I want to do a mini EVP session. Providence, Ohio is an interesting ghost town in Northwest Ohio. Currently it's owned by the Toledo Metro Parks, as a lot of the locations that I've shot are. This is interesting because this was the home to the famous lock number 44, which is right next to me. Lock 44 was one of the major areas for the Miami-Erie Canal back in the mid-1800s, late 1800s, and probably early 1900s, before the railroad, which you see over there, kind of came in and took things over. But that's not the only reason Providence turned into a ghost town. The story goes that there was a huge cholera outbreak in town, which killed a good portion of the population, and a bunch of fires that actually destroyed the town itself. When you look straight ahead down that canal, those areas used to be plotted out as houses. It was like any other downtown area that you would see in any small town USA. Over that way used to stand a hotel, just on the other side of that car bridge where you saw that car going. That hotel used to be filled with so much crime. Later it was the Sportsman's Club, and now it's just a parking lot. Well, we're talking about a lot of prostitution and a lot of crime. Think of this as a major truck stop, if there were trucks back in the 1800s. One of my favorite areas here in Providence is the Ludwig Mill. This goes way back. It used to power Providence. I believe it probably powered Grand Rapids at some time. Currently they do various tours inside of there. It is an operating mill on a historical basis, meaning they'll take you in on tours and stuff, and you can walk around in there during open hours. It's a cool old building. Look over this way. This is where I was standing. And actually what's really cool, this is still a legitimate towpath. The park system has a volunteer crew that runs an old canal boat and a mule that will actually haul the canal boat all the way down the Miami-Erie Canal to the next park over. So for a fee, people can ride that. This area is prone to flooding. It always was and always will be, seeing that the Maumee River is over that way. So a lot of people use these trails now for biking, running, and of course the mules use it too. Kind of showing you the old building. We're not going to go in there today. It's closed. I don't know that they allow paranormal research, but we're going to sit on the front porch and do an EVP session. If you were to walk straight ahead, you would end up going into the other portion of Providence Park and to what would have been the actual town itself. There's nothing left of it at all, except for an old church, which I'll show you here in a little bit. What's crazy is a lot of people think that the Miami-Erie Canal was a long-term thing. About the time they finished it, it went bankrupt and closed down. So anyways, I'm just sitting up here on the porch. It's actually a really nice night to do this. I didn't bring a whole lot of equipment with me today because I didn't really expect to do this. I tried to do this a few weeks back, but there were just too many people in the park. But since there's nobody, it's just me, my cell phone, and I brought the MP3 recorder. I didn't bring the K2 or anything like that. Like I said, I was just out for a walk and I saw that there wasn't anybody over here, so just in case, I decided to bring this with me. So we'll just do a little EVP session, see if we get some voices. I mean, you're talking about a town that was riddled with crime, prostitution. I'm sure there was a lot of murder. When you think of like unregulated truck stops, because there wasn't a lot of law enforcement back then, you're talking about this area having an interesting history that nobody probably knows about. So we're going to see if we can dig anything up. It'd be nice if I could show you the old hotel, but that's since been torn down. So let's get started with this. If you want to communicate with me, all you have to do is just talk into this little box right here. What's your name? you work the canal boats? Did you load and unload them? If not, what did you do for a living? Did you just work in Providence? Do you work in Providence? So where I'm at right now is where the hotel used to be, right in this lot right here. And actually, the story is the Oberle Hotel. Hotel used to be right in this lot right here. Actually, the story is the Oberle Hotel. Did you ever spend the night at the Oberle Hotel? I'm gonna ask questions as we move. Yeah, if you used to stay at the Oberle Hotel, why don't you communicate? Tell me what used to happen there. So that was kind of the little impromptu investigation I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but there's just been so many people out in this area. Today, though, there's nobody here. Though it was quick, impromptu, coming up a little bit later on in the summer, my friend Psychic Medium Tammy Schuster and I are going to be coming back to this location, and she's going to see what she can figure out with her abilities, plus we'll bring out all of the equipment, because there's got to be something around here. The history of this area is so rich, so dark, and so cool. Like, you can feel it. That's why I'm kind of whispering almost, because I kind of feel like somebody's watching me. It's just creepy. Like, this used to be a booming town, and now literally there's nobody here except for me and this big old freaky mill. So from the ghost town of Providence, I'll see you next time.